I know it's been a minute. I don't know if I just ain't been focused or if I'm not really ready to be on camera with my teeth missing. You would think I'd be used to it by now, but I'm not. Uh, Honestly, I'm thinking about starting a GoFundMe to raise about $6,500 so I can run to Mexico and get some implants. Um, I got the option to get dentures, but I don't really like the process they talking about. When I get back to the house, I might check on getting some partials that I probably can get done in a day's time. But for what they talking about for the dentures, they really want me to go ahead and go through their surgery one more time and get all the rest of the teeth took out my mouth, and then get some temporary dentures for about 6 months, and then get some permanents. When I can go to Mexico and come back with $1 million smile for about 5.5 racks. That's why I say 6,500, because hell, I'm gonna need to get down there and back. Spend the 5.5 on getting these TPA down, getting them implants put in. But we ain't here for that. I just had to get that off my chest right quick. What's up with it? Super Bowl coming up, and they just announced Kendrick Lamar was gonna be headlining, and a lot of people, some of y'all maybe, Master P, a lot of people from New Orleans, St. Louis, not St. Louis, Louisiana, is wondering why Lil Wayne can't get on the ticket. And I'm gonna give y'all a couple reasons. One, the most obvious reason. Well, I ain't gonna say the most obvious reason. This ain't the most obvious reason, but one is Lil Wayne ain't got no new music. He ain't got no hits. He ain't popping right now. This is the biggest thing going right now, and I know you could, like, when they brought 50 and Dr. Dre and them, they wasn't, none of them was popping. But as a unit, they was popping. When you brought all them together, that was something to, that was a show to go see. Because how many other people can go anywhere and say they had 50 Cent, Dr. Dre, Eminem, all that together? Now, I feel like it would have been a better show if they would have had Game them instead of Mary J. Blige. But in all fairness, there's a lot close your heart. In all fairness, they kept Game off. Yeah, Snoop Dogg was there. They kept Game off because of the controversy. How would it look for Kendrick Lamar to be a headliner of the show and you bring Lil Wayne in? What did Lil Wayne use his first one to bring Drake in? Controversy. Y'all know Lil Wayne is part of Drake camp. You don't do that. That's disrespectful to the headliner. Now you gotta share stage with his arch enemy, boss and homeboy and all. Nah, you don't do that. Even though Lil Wayne and Drake is having their little spats and back and forth, or should I say they forced, because Drake ain't said shit back to Wayne yet. And if he would have been going real hard on Drake, and when I say he, I mean Wayne, then it would have seemed like it was a Super Bowl halftime show against Drake. But really it's just celebrating the nigga who popped out and became the biggest rap artist of the year. The biggest artist of the year. You know what I'm saying? It's like, usually that's left up for a new artist, somebody who just hit the scene and they showing out. They took over. But in this year, it's a dude that had been around, and they played with him, and he popped out like, man, let me show y'all what's up. The nigga dropped the biggest song of the decade. It just happened to be a diss track. Real though, rest in peace, Rich Homie Quan, man. I fuck with Quan like that. Side note, let's talk about Quan for a minute. I hate the way he went out. One thing I did want Rich Homie Quan to do, man, I was hoping, like this whole time, I tell y'all that in my head, I always see shit that I can tell artists that they need to do. And one thing that I would have wanted Rich Homie Quan to do was support Young Thug with a song kind of like when Wayne did I Miss My Dogs. I wanted Quan to do a song like that about what his brother was going through, being locked up all this time, going back and forth to court. I ain't even got no time yet, and the man been in prison all this time. And I know they wasn't on the best of terms, but the way I see it, I'm like, man, not only would that would have got your career back started, that would have probably got you a #1 song, that probably would have got you and your brother back, goddamn me, tight like 10 toes in one sock. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing about it is, I don't care what you say about Young Thug. Young Thug has put niggas on in his rap game. You got artists that are big as hell right now, so big that you forget that the only reason they even big, little baby, is because Rich Homie, and not Rich Homie, but Young Thug said, hey, grip too hard, nigga. You and Gunna get together, man. Don't put y'all out here and blow y'all the fuck up. And he did. Lil Baby then became his own superstar, but I'm just saying, bro, you wouldn't have been not another damn thing without goddamn Young Thug. And I wish Rich Homie would have took that opportunity, man, and did that and been back on the top, because Rich Homie was an artist that deserved to be on top. He was one of the few artists in this day and age that come with positivity. You know what I'm saying? That getting his music on in studios and actually say something when he turned that mic on. And we can't, you know what I'm saying, forget that, man. It was he kind of stood on. The man, for lack of better words, knew how to make you feel some type of way when he get in that booth with that realness. He went through a lot of shit that he probably shouldn't have had to go through, and I hate that he left the world the way he did, man, because that was so far beyond his character. Rest in peace, Rich Homie Quan. Now, another reason why I feel like Wayne got left off of that Super Bowl on purpose is because the hip-hop devil himself is the one in control of it. And I'm speaking on Jigga. I was explaining to my mama the other day how jayz became, him and Roc Nation became the people who handled the Super Bowl halftime event. Because she was talking about how athletes are getting all these commercials these days. And I'm like, it ain't just the athletes. I said, mama, you know, that's how they pay these folks to entertain us. When they ain't getting enough money to, you know what I'm saying, to do what they need to do, they got to find another way to cut the check. And it's the commercials and the endorsements. Everybody be talking about like Alicia Keys turned down $9 million to do 9 minutes or something. You don't get no pass for going down that 9 million. How many 9 millions have you not turned down? You've accepted enough 9 millions till you can finally turn one down. You've done enough evil. And you know what I'm saying? I told y'all a couple shows ago, I'm like, man, you gotta look at it like when Alicia Keys was playing the little boy on the Cosby Show, she was being groomed to grow up and do what the hell she was told by the bosses. When Cat Williams told how they be putting motherfuckers together in relationships, I feel like her and Swiss Beats is one of those relationships. Like, I don't understand the attraction she had for him enough to go steal him from his wife and tell the woman to her face, like, hey, I want your husband and I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna have it. I believe she was put up to that. What's up, too? But let's get back to Jigga, my nigga. I was explaining to my mama, I say, mama, there was a nigga named Colin Kaepernick that decided to spit in the face of all these pale people and take a knee on their national anthem in protest of black people getting their ass beat by the police. They did to Donald Trump. They said what they said enough times to people start believing. Oh, he's disrespecting the national anthem. Oh, he hates America. Oh, he's racist. And then they found out their mama was white, so they had to come with all that other shit. And they were like, well, he's disrespecting the anthem, and he's disrespecting all the people in the military. The people in the military are like, no, not really. Like, taking a knee is an honorable thing to do. Like, you would take a knee in front of the president to show respect. But the thing about it was, and they gotta remember, at first, it went from sitting down, like, fuck that. We just gonna sit down and not acknowledge the anthem because we want y'all to speak. We want y'all to say something. We want to open discussion so we can say what we want to say, which is Black Lives Matter. Please stop taking our lives. Please stop killing our black men, our black kids, our unarmed citizens of America that ain't did shit. Y'all pull them over and shoot them. Y'all go in their house and shoot them. You break in their house and shoot them. You do welfare checks and shoot them. You pull up at the park and shoot them. You pull over for y'all know when I get talking about this shit, they be trying to cut shit off. He was like, I'm gonna use my platform and say, damn this NFL job. I risk it all. So our voices will be heard. And he did that. And they started talking about disrespecting the flag to get it off of what it really was listen to what I got to say. Which is, please stop killing us. Please stop shooting unarmed black men and women. Hanging them in their jail cell trying to say that it was a goddamn suicide when we don't have no reason to want to kill ourselves or harm ourselves in any shape, form, or fashion. Jayz is a billionaire, and I told y'all to get that billion, you got to play by their rules. So they made him a billionaire, and then they told him, look here, boy, just what we want you to do for us this time. You see that nigga Colin Kaepernick? He trying to get back in the NFL, and we don't know how to keep him out. So we need you to set up a bogus ass audition for him to get back in, where we can throw dirt on his name, kind of like what they did Monique. The higher ups don't know a lot of tricks. They use what works. And what works is, oh, he or she is difficult to work with. They only want to work the way they want to work. They lazy. They don't want to do what we tell them to do. They hard-headed. They just all around difficult. They do what the fuck they want to do. That's what they say. They said about Monique. They said about Colin Kaepernick. So this is what I had to tell my mama. I say, mama, when they wanted to keep Colin Kaepernick up in the ass out of the NFL, they set up a meeting with Jay-Z, and they told Jay-Z like this, hey, we gonna look real stupid if we do it. So what we want you to do is be the go-between, the hip-hop, what's the word? I damn near want to say connoisseur. I know that ain't it. It's, y'all know the word. The man that goes in between the people over here and the person over here because they don't really know how to communicate with each other. Not the interpreter. Is it conciliary or something like that? It don't matter. Y'all know what I'm saying. They wanted Jay-Z to be the one to go tell Colin Kaepernick, hey, I have arranged this meeting for you, this audition, if you will, with the NFL. Now, what they didn't tell Colin Kaepernick, should I say what Jay-Z didn't tell Colin Kaepernick is, ain't gonna be no NFL head coaches there to watch you throw this ball. There will be no NFL scouts there to watch you throw this ball. We will not allow any cameras to record you throwing this ball so scouts and head coaches can watch you later on throwing this ball. And we're going to send our own wide receivers that's probably going to drop every pass you throw, probably going to run your route the wrong damn way, make you look stupid, so we can say, nah, he ain't got it no more, and just look like we got a reason to keep you out of our NFL. This is what they told Jay-Z, and Jay-Z showed up at this field, and when Colin Kaepernick and his people showed up at the field, he found out that 1, there were no head coaches. 2, there was no NFL scouts. 3, there was no cameras. 4, they had all these bum-ass wide receivers, do boys there to catch his ball or not catch his ball and fuck up his route. Colin Kaepernick was not a dumb nigga by any sense of the word. So what he did was, 1, said, nope, I will not walk 1 foot on this field. What I will do is go down the street and get on this other field. 2, I will have my own wide receiver show that I would run the routes that I tell them to run, and get up under this ball and catch it way downfield like they supposed to. And 4, I got my own camera crew that is gonna record this shit, and then I'm gonna be able to send it to every news outlet, every social media platform, every head coach in the NFL, every scout. They wanna really see what I got to offer. And when he did that, Jay-Z went back and told the NFL this is what's going on, and get what they said. Oh, he's uppity. Oh, he just want to do things his way. Oh, he can't follow directions. He's difficult to work with. You know what I'm saying? That's what they like to say about us. So, in all, they kept him out of the NFL. And very shortly after they kept him out of the NFL, Jay-Z was rewarded. Jay-Z got a lot of these big ass rewards that he didn't deserve. Jay-Z and Roc Nation was rewarded with handling times. For anybody that feel like they got the knowledge, power, wisdom, or understanding to answer this question. What has Jay-Z and Roc Nation done musically with any other artist or event to make you feel like they was worthy of taking over the NFL halftime? I know Jay-Z has a history of fooling people into thinking he's a big ass artist, like the biggest, like how some of these little ass local artists they holler these days, I'm largest, I'm the biggest, and they not. See, one thing I never pointed out to y'all about Jay-Z that I do recognize is this here. They started calling Jay-Z the GOAT, the #1, the greatest of all time. That dude, way before he got to the status he is now. They created that status for him later on. If you want to know what I'm talking about, we're going to start it out like this. Jay-Z used kind of like the same way Drake do. I told y'all these was the #2 culture votes, #1 and #2 culture votes in hip hop. Jay-Z used all the big name artists from his time. Anybody that was selling more than him, getting more views than him, name was popping more than him, he recruited them for his albums, for his songs, for his singles, to make his shit pop. Like when UGK got on the song with him, they were bigger than him. They was getting more love and more shine than him. They was getting more video play than him. When he jumped on Juvenile shit, Juvenile was fresh off 4 million on his worldwide debut album. At that point, Jay-Z had never sniffed goddamn me 3 million. So you tell me how this country nigga come out and do double what you ever done on your biggest record, and you don't ask him to get on his remix, you do it yourself and send it to him like you was that guy. You was not that guy at the time, bro. The song, like your first album, was a hit to you and some people in New York, but the nation wasn't feeling dead presidents like you was, like New York was. The nation started feeling Jay-Z right around the time that Foxy Brown started ghostwriting for him. Ain't no nigga like the one I got. No one can fucking. Foxy Brown wrote this song. That's what blew him up before Lil Orphan Annie blew him up. Ja Rule was jumping on that main song when Ja Rule was hot as hell. DMX was jumping on that main song when DMX was the biggest thing popping. Eminem was jumping on that song when Eminem was the biggest thing popping. You know what I'm saying? These dudes was all bigger than Jay-Z at the time. You might not understand what I'm about to say. Jermaine Dupri was bigger than Jay-Z when Day song came out. In the Ferrari, Jaguar, switching 4 lanes. Yeah, Jay-Z was bigger. Jay-Z was a master at doing the same thing Drake did, hopping on everybody else to stay relevant.
It was a lot closer at home.
And he did that until everybody felt like he was the biggest thing popping. He was the best thing going. Then he fucked around and found a young artist by the name of Kanye West that had so much talent. He was the next biggest thing in the world. And he rolled that nigga until he rolled him in the ground and drove him crazy. And then threw him to the wayside. And guess what Kanye been doing ever since? Remaining the biggest thing, no matter what it takes, and he don't got to use everybody else to do it. Kanye could go crazy and goddamn me just poopity scoop a #1 hit out this motherfucker. You feel me? Ain't nowhere in the world Dr. Drake could not Dr. Drake. Ain't nowhere in the world Jay-Z could have said some shit like that, and we would have goddamn he gave him any type of credit for it. But it's Kanye. Jay-Z hates Drake because Drake stole his formula in being a culture vulture and rising to the top off of everybody else hard sweat. Blood, sweat, and tears and shit. And over the years, like real shit, I'm not a Drake fan, but I will admit Drake has made way better music than Jay-Z. As far as fans are concerned, a lot more fans are gonna buy Drake shit than they gonna buy Jay-Z shit. Like if y'all don't believe me, please go back and look at Jay-Z highest selling albums and look at how long it took to get to 6 million. The same one I was telling you was at 2 million, now at 6 million, Hard Life Volume 2, which is widely considered to be one of Jay-Z's best albums. Like, come on, man. 30 years, 6 million albums, and that's supposed to be one of your best? Like, them the songs that catapulted you to the status. But like I just told y'all, he didn't have that status when they were saying he had that status. You had ignorant motherfuckers like Lil Wayne giving him that status when Lil Wayne was better than him. I'm just being real. I'm you know what I'm saying? I used to be the biggest Wayne fan. Until I got to a point where I'm like, Lil Wayne no longer makes sense to me. He just say shit that rhyme. He might have a hot line to go with another hot line to go with another hot line to go with another hot line, but none of that shit gonna mean a goddamn thing. Lil Wayne ain't had a song that really was talking about shit in the last 17 years. He say some shit that make you say, oh man, but he don't be talking about shit. I remember when Lil Wayne used to make songs about his daddy and about his stepdaddy. And then he started calling Birdman his daddy, and you forgot who Rabbit was because he don't talk about Rabbit no more. But I said all that to say this. Jay-Z don't like Drake. And he is not gonna put Lil Wayne on that Super Bowl halftime show for fear that Wayne is gonna get Drake on there some type of way. Because if you think about it like this, Snoop Dogg ended up on the halftime show because of Eminem, not Dr. Drake. Dr. Drake did not make a push and say, hey man, if you want to have me on the show, then you need to have Snoop on there, which is a given. Dr. Drake's biggest songs was big because Snoop. You know what I'm saying? Snoop, when he came out on Dr. Dre's first album, which we kind of feel like, I mean, we call that the Dr. Dre album, but being real, when The Chronic came out, we didn't look at that as a Dr. Dre album. We looked at that as a duo. Like, that was a West Coast UGK. My nigga, that was Snoop and Drake. Yeah, Snoop wasn't on every song, but it was the ones he was on. It was the one where Snoop was saying, with your mama and your daddy hollering, baby. That shit. When you come out on your first song, or your first few songs, and you say some shit to make the niggas say, man, that was the coolest shit. I'ma tell you, Pimp C did it on tell you something good. When he said, I didn't do your girl, but your sister was alright. Took her to my homeboy Caddy last night. She wet my Jimmy, and then the little street tramp did me on a box of tens in a Pioneer amp. Man, I hit it from the back, and the girl just threw me. Put me pumping harder, then she scratched me on my booty. Now everybody in the world knows that your sister is a nasty little girl. The way he said them words, he might have been the first rapper sing song, you know what I'm saying? That pitch is when you half singing, half rapping. But the way he said that, it was hooking niggas. You love that verse. Bun B is one of my favorite rappers, but Bun B wasn't fucking with Pimp C. The simple ass words on that song, and it was all in the delivery. Snoop had that delivery. When DMX came out with the Rough Riders and with the one before that, where my dogs at. It was the delivery that had niggas hype, couldn't wait for this song to come on. That shit is as infectious as getting your soul. What my boy say, I don't know, but it's provocative. Get the people going. That's what Jay-Z had when he used the fuck out of Lil Orphan Annie. He tried to do the same thing when he came up with that, I'll do anything, and that shit didn't work. It didn't work. It wasn't the same as the Lil Orphan Annie song. But Drake, even though he is not an actual R&B singer, he found out that using that half singing shit that Ja Rule used to do, another one, gets the people hooked. Because whether you know it or not, everybody can't sing. Drake can't sing, but he can sing just enough that when you sing with him, you don't feel fucked up because you ain't hitting no notes, because goddamn it, he not hitting none either. He just holding a tune. So you get to hold his tune, shit you like this song. Not to mention he can got whatever new and hot and put that on the song beside it. Whether it's still a nigga flow, you know what I'm saying? One thing about a hit is, if it's something simple you can remember, it's easier for it to be a hit. And you don't always notice when Drake goes and steals somebody's shit that was already hard, and you already kind of know that tempo, that flow, that sound when you get to singing it. So all of a sudden, that shit is a hit. But you got a lot of people around Drake, like I said, you got people that made dude. That's why he fell off so fast when people turned against him. Because it's the people that turned against him that made it. When he get mad at Lil Yachty, y'all don't realize that Lil Yachty is one of the people in the industry that helps people make hits. That's why he has so much money, because it ain't all coming from his music. It's coming from the work he do behind the scenes with other artists making their music hits. Lil Yachty has one of those voices everybody don't like. So all his music not gonna hit with people outside of his core fan base. But he can go to somebody else with that voice that you love and give them the song, teach them how to say it the way they say it, and next thing you know, boom, we got another one. Lil Yachty is not the only person in the industry like that. You got Quentin Miller like that. You got God damn, what my boy name with the tattoos on his face? Spawn. What's his name? Cub from Grape Street. They like that. But he got the type of face they didn't want to put out there. He unpredictable. They didn't want to put Daylight out there, so they let him write songs for niggas like Drake. Daylight wrote back to back. What some people consider one of the hardest diss songs. Drake ain't wrote no shit like that. He just got the shine for it. He got the credit for it. In the R&B world, you got niggas like Neo that'll write a song, a hit for anybody. You got niggas like R. Kelly that'll write a hit for anybody. Undeniable hits. You got Future, one of them type of people that was behind the scenes writing hits for people before he ever started rapping. Future been around for a long time before he got a name. Before y'all started hearing Tony Montana. That man had been with Rico Wade and LaFace and the Dungeon family. But like I was saying, man, Drake followed Jay-Z's culture vulture mechanisms and path to fame and stardom. And he took it to the next level. And it lasted for a long time. But the thing is, I'm trying to say what, let me think of what CeeLo said in this song. CeeLo said, don't get full of that alcohol in the club and think you bad. If you niggas start acting up, somebody gonna kick your ass. And that's what Drake did. He got full of alcohol, which was their fame and fortune. And he started feeling himself. He started forgetting that there's a whole village of people behind him that helped create him, that propped him up. And once he got drunk off that fortune and fame and started feeling himself, he started dissing people. He started talking shit, started acting like he didn't need people. And when all them people started feeling disrespected and turned against him, the house of cards came down. And Drake is a petty, not Drake, Jay-Z is a petty motherfucker, man. So of course, he took this as his opportunity to help make sure that the dude that had superseded him got cut off at the knee. So he gave the dude that cut him off the Super Bowl show, and he left Wayne off on purpose to make sure Drake didn't get no parts of that shine. Because, and believe it or not, I'm not gonna act like it ain't. I know there are people behind the scenes making sure Drake don't come back to being what Drake used to be. The thing about it is, it's not like they going above and beyond and maliciously stopping him. They just not giving him the helping hand that he used to have it. Lucian Grange is not pushing that main music and forcing it down our throats like they used to doing. You know what I'm saying? They do the same shit with motherfuckers like Sexy Red. When you hear a song so much, you get tricked into thinking you like it. Bad and Bougie was a good song. I'm not gonna say it wasn't. But before I knew what the algorithm was on YouTube, Bad and Bougie made me figure it out. Because I would be on YouTube and every time I typed the song in or a video in, I typed it in to go watch it. If I didn't type the next thing in I wanted to see, when that video went off, when that podcast or whatever that was I was watching went off by itself, Bad and Bougie would have been the next thing that popped up. It did that well over 2,000 times on my page. 2,000 views they got from me that I never once typed in to hear that song. Never had to. It popped up after. And I mean, I could type in one of my videos and my video go off and Bad and Bougie pop up. And then I would cut Bad and Bougie off and type in another one of my videos, and when they go off, Bad and Bougie pop up. And then I could go type in a Drake song, and after that, Bad and Bougie pop up. No matter what I watch, if I did not type in the next thing, Bad and Bougie popped up. And there's been other songs that have been forced on us like that, and we don't really notice it. A lot of Drake songs did that. If you don't think these people can pay to get in the algorithm, you crazy. I can't pay to get in the algorithm. I need y'all to hit that like button, come in and subscribe. That's how I get in the algorithm. Oh shit. Police coming. I'm glad they getting over that other lane. Let me know you ain't coming for me, big homie. I don't want no parts of these blue and red lights you got flashing. I done had enough. I've been trying to decide, man, because I got a hell of a story to tell y'all. I'm talking about a hell of a story. This one of them stories I'm probably going to have to put on, get TikTok cracking and break it down and put it on there. And put it on YouTube. But I've been trying to decide, do I want to do it on this channel? Because y'all know I need to put my other two channels up. So I've been thinking about putting my story time channel, which is going to be nothing but story time. I'm going to call that channel, it's already been started, but I'm going to change the name of it to from the A. And I'm going to retell all my prison stories in more detail over there on that channel. My other channel, like I keep telling y'all, is going to be kind of like a gospel channel. It's going to be a spiritual channel where I try to reach out and connect with people like myself. Damn, I wish I'd have known that Flying J over there, but no, I ain't got time now. I'm gonna try to reach out and talk to people like myself that been through something in life and are trying to find I'm not gonna say trying to find, but just reaching out or don't even know they're reaching out. Okay, let me put it like this. I'm gonna try to connect people to God hand because He's reaching out for a lot of us, and a lot of us don't know it, or a lot of us don't know how to reach back and grab that hand. And I've been figuring it out slowly but surely. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do this. All I know to do is pray about it and dive in. Pray that God lead me and guide me and put me in the right mind frame and let the right words come out of my mouth. Because one thing I do know is if you wait till you get ready, you will never be ready. You got to just do it. I remember there was a point in time where I wanted to do my YouTube and I was making up excuses. Like 2 years went by and I was making up excuses. And I would always tell people I want to do this and I want to do that. And they're like, man, you need to do it. I think you'll be. And I always had excuses why I wasn't ready to do it yet. And when I dove in, my response was way better than I thought it was going to be. So I'm just trying to get to that spot where I'm ready to dive in and go ahead. One thing I am going to try to do is on my gospel channel is inspire people, and I'm going to try to, I guess you can say, preach to y'all from the Bible and from my worldly experience. It's probably not going to end up being like your typical preacher would be because I'm not the typical person. I'm just going to do my best. This channel is going to stay up. This channel has become very random in the things we talk about, politics, sports, entertainment, everyday life. So I'm going to continue all of that on this channel. But I'm going to start back telling the stories, and it's going to be on the story channel. And then I'm going to do my religious stuff on the religious channel. And I hope that I see all y'all on them other channels. I need to get back to the things to know before prison and the prison story. But the things to know before prison, people take that like I be saying, this is what you need to know before you go to prison. When it's not. It's basically, this is what you need to know before you end up in prison. So maybe when I start doing them over, I will put the end up. Because a lot of people are like, why do you want to tell people what they, like, I'm like, man, look, I don't expect nobody to go to prison unless you out here doing the stupid things that it takes to get to prison. There's some people go to prison and they didn't do nothing to get there, but majority of people in prison worked hard to get there. Me, I worked hard. The police did not just pick me up off the street one day and say, hey, you want to go to prison? No. I disobeyed my mama for a long time. I ignored a bunch of good advice. I hung out in a lot of spots that I know I ain't had no business hanging out at. I did a lot of robberies and drug dealing and gang banging as much as I could until I ended up in prison. And the typical person not gonna look at it like that, but until you start looking at it like that, you would be a candidate to go to prison. Because you not gonna, if you can't say that you gang banging to go to prison or that you robbing people to go to prison or the graveyard or whatever, that's what you're gonna end up at because that's all that you really gonna get out of that shit. You ain't keeping it real with yourself. And if you're not gonna keep it real with yourself, then that's what they gonna have for you, a prison yard or a graveyard. When you start keeping it real with yourself, you start wanting the best for yourself. Meaning, you're not gonna hang in spots that you know gonna end up getting your ass in prison. You're not gonna hang with people that's gonna end up getting you shot at. You know what I'm saying? Taking you away from your family, taking you away from your kids. You're gonna love yourself and respect yourself more than that bullshit. That's why I don't have no friends. Because the type of friends that I had will lead me right back into the shit that I'm trying my best to stay away from. Not saying I can't make new friends, but hell, I'm grown. I don't really need to make a bunch of new friends. I can make new associates, people that I can socialize with and I can chop it up with and bounce my ideas and opinions off of. But at the end of the day, my best friend is a pit bull and my mama. You just is. They're my two best friends. I know they not look down their nose at me. My mama gonna do whatever she can to help me. My dog gonna love me unconditionally, come hug and kiss on me. So at the end of the day, those are my best friends. I got one homeboy, he is not my friend, that's like a brother to me. I got other brothers, but they not major factors in my life no more. I still love you. But just like I say about these other guys, I don't agree with your lifestyle. I don't agree with the way, you know what I'm saying, you live your life every day. And I can't hang with you. I'm not gonna spend my life trying to change you. I will encourage you. If I can help you out, I'll help you out. But I'm not gonna waste my breath, my time, and my effort trying to turn you into the man you need to be. I will use my time and effort and my breath to help you become the man you need to be. But I can't force it on you. One thing, and I also had to tell my mama through my podcast, I told her one thing about this mama is I can preach all day long, but I'm not gonna force God on nobody. Because one thing I know about religion is it can't be forced. Forcing religion on people will run them away from the religion and turn them away from God, because that ain't how religion works. I told y'all in prison, a Muslim dude tried to do me like they tried to turn me on to Islam. He tried to force it on me and I went with that shit. And another Muslim came to him right in my face and told that ain't how you do it. That's your homeboy. You want him to be part of Islam, then you need to be the best Muslim you could be. Let Allah work through you. And when you start shining, he gonna see that. And he'll come to you and ask you about the changes you done made in your life and the man you become. He'll be more interested in that than he will in what you're trying to force on him. And I told my mama, I'm like, look, I could go stand on the street corner and preach all day long. The only people who gonna hear me is the people who already wanted to hear me. Everybody else gonna walk past me, speed up, turn the corner, across the street, or whatever they want to do because they don't want to hear it. The people that want to hear it gonna stop and listen. When you show up at church, then there's people who want to be there. They was looking for the word that morning when they got up and went to church. Me, I'm the type of person who don't go to church. I don't like preachers. I don't trust preachers. I trusted in one. All the ones I didn't trust have basically showed me why not to trust them. I do believe in cutting the middleman out of me and God. One thing I have always believed is you got to have your own relationship with God. A preacher, your mama, your grandma, the next door neighbor, auntie, anybody can pray for you. But if you don't talk to God yourself, Like, what's going on? What do you expect? One thing I learned about God is he got a sense of humor. Another thing I learned is he work on his own time and in his own way. Things always seem to work out. I can prove that to you. Just like this. It's this easy. I'm here right now, you here right now. You know what that means? That means ain't nothing the devil ever did to try to use on you work. It might have got you down for a minute. It might have made you think negative. But you still here. Meaning God still got a purpose for you. That's how God works. And I know this ain't the religious podcast, so y'all didn't come to get preached to, so I'm gonna try to curb it a little bit. But sometimes it just be that easy to talk about it. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna really try to leave it alone. I remember having these type of conversations in the trap, like literally. And one day somebody asked me, like, nigga, how you gonna sit up in a dope house selling dope, talking about God? And my response was, because that's what he wanted me to do today. I'm in the dope house for a reason. Maybe because it's you or him or her that need to hear about God today. And guess what? That pastor down there at the church, he not gonna come up in this trap house preaching. Them folks ain't coming down here to talk to y'all. They gonna stay in the church and talk to the church folks. Save the souls has already been saved. Preaching to the choir, preaching to the pulpit, preaching to the rows that's already in the church. They not gonna come where the drugs at, where the dope fiends at, where the drug dealers at, where the gang bangers at. Spread their word. Me, I didn't have a choice. This is what God wanted me at today. That's why I'm here. And just because I'm here, the devil not gonna shut me up. He not gonna make me feel like because I did a little bit of wrong, I can't do a lot of good or a little bit of good. One thing my grandma told me way back in the day when I was a child was, it don't matter what you did or what you've been through, God can still use you and God will speak through anybody. God spoke through a jackass. That's what she told me, just like that. And it's one of the things that stuck with me. Because I remember them talking about it in church when they were talking about how God made a donkey talk. And she explained it. Hey, he did the same thing with a burning bush. That's God. He do what he want to do, when he want to do it. I've heard his voice before, which is strange as hell because he wasn't the one talking. It was my mom talking, and when she said what she said, her voice, at least to me, changed. Just for the words that she said, and those words burned into my brain that day, and they never left. And I don't know exactly what I was talking about, but I was talking about how I was scared to go in the store and steal a piece of gum. I ain't been going to the store and steal shit. And she said, I'm glad because you better understand God done fixed it. Well, when you do something wrong, you going to get caught. It is Sunday, ain't it? It might be my sermon for today. And when she said that, I swear her voice had changed to like this. And it just, them words stood out from everything else that we talked about in my whole entire life. They sounded different. I didn't recognize that as being my mama's voice, but before she could get done saying what she said, I was thinking in my mind, this is God talking to me. I heard telling mom about doing the gospel podcast. Or should I say I heard it before I told her. That's the reason I told her, is because when I was thinking it, I heard that voice pop up in my head say you need to tell somebody about it. That way, you don't get away from doing it, actually making it happen. You need to say it out loud to somebody so you can make it happen. And when I did say it out loud while I was telling my mama, I heard the same voice come back and told me that when I did it, I was going to be blessed for it. One thing about it is, my auntie told me when I was 8 years old I was going to grow up and be a preacher. I ran from that because I'm scared of my mind and my mentality. I know how easy it is for me or any human to get sidetracked and use church as a hustle. I've often said that the only difference between the preacher and the pimp is one of them put their suit on and do their good ass talking outside the church. The other one put their suit on and do their good ass talking inside the church. But they do it to the same women, they get the same money. They got the same suit on. I never want to be in a situation where I could slip up and misuse God to line my pockets. I never want to be in a situation where I could use a church to get women and prey on people. And I know that it's so easy to do, and church preachers do it all the time. I'm scared of that. Like, I am actually terrified of being a preacher in a church for those reasons. But when I was telling y'all about the preacher podcast, it wasn't the same voice, but I did hear a voice tell me that this is how you become a preacher and don't have to stand in the church looking at the women, or you don't stand there and pass a collection plate around and dip your hand in. I don't have a church to lie to y'all about. I don't have a building fund. I don't have a light bill. I don't have all this to lie to y'all about. If I do this online and y'all send me money, it's because y'all know y'all sending me money. I'm not lying to you and telling you it's for this or it's for that. And even with all that being said, the only thing that I can see myself asking y'all or needing or wanting or using the money for is to go get me some teeth. I do plan on starting me a GoFundMe, you know what I'm saying, passing the collection plate for the pastor teeth. And I'm not gonna lie about it. Let me see. We're going to come up on a minute, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this show. I gotta make some phone calls anyway. But happy Sunday to all y'all, man. Have a blessed day. Don't be afraid to take that long road instead of the wrong road. Do things the long way instead of the wrong way. Find somebody to help. Tell somebody you love them. You know I love y'all, and I appreciate you too. We out.